Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, playing Disciples Liberation. As I said in the previous video, I think, but just to emphasise, this game, if you continue from the main menu, it just continues from exactly the same point. So that's good. You don't have to worry about losing any progress. Although, like I said, it's usually prudent to save quite a lot, especially before battles, because you can't save during, but it will come back to the exact same point when you come out of it. So one thing I want you to say is, I remember hearing somewhere on a video from somewhere on YouTube that there were past Disciples games. I don't think they were called Disciples Liberation, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far past they are, but I've never played any of them. I've not been aware of them. I've never seen any of them. And the reason I mention that is you can play this game with no knowledge of any previous games. In fact, when I first played it and when I first wanted to get it, I didn't know there was any previous. There's nothing in the opening story or in the story I played or in the title even that suggests there was previous games. So anyway, so here we are. Back in the sewers. I was going to say dungeon, which would be being nice because it's not a dungeon, it's a sewer. And like I said, this game is good at showing you where to go. I've never been lost. There's a good map, which we haven't got at the moment because we're in a sewer and we don't need it. But there's actually quite a lot of things in this game that I can't show you unless we play on a bit, because some of the things don't become apparent until you're out of the first mission, and some don't become apparent until you've got other people you can add into your squad or your army or your followers. So these bits and pieces that come along gradually. Some games you can kind of just sort of show all the side things straight away, but this isn't one of those. So there's a lever, there you go, you pull it, opens a door, pretty obvious. And there's that little white arrow, you can see it just slightly to the left of me at kind of like 10 o'clock. That little arrow will show you which way to go. So even if you, for example, which you will do, because you do it, you'll run to like the wrong, that's the right gate, but you can run to there, it will show you which way to go. From there it's slightly to the right. You can run to here, it will show which way to go. If, for example, this door didn't open, it will show you that you need to go that way, so you'll have to find a way. And it's usually pretty straightforward to find a way. So, okay, there's a chest. There's often chests in this game. Sometimes they're guarded, and you have to fight sometimes a reasonable size force to get them. Sometimes they're just standing around. You get a new piece of equipment. Usually you get that, or you get money, or you get both. And I would say it's one of those games where you'll never know whether it's worth fighting. It's always worth fighting because you level up people, so that's good. The game will show you, and I'll show you later, if you have the opportunity to fight somebody, it will show you what their strength is before you fight, and you can decide to retreat often. Sometimes you can't, but you can retreat if you think it's too hard. And you'll never know whether the chest items are going to be worth fighting for. I would say early on it's probably good to pick up stuff because you can probably use it. I'm just going to run back to that mana fountain, because health fountain, sorry, because I realise we're on low health, and there's no reason that you can't run back to a thing like that. I mean, there are obviously occasions where gates shut behind you and things like that, but in general, almost 90% of the time you can usually run back to those things if there is one. Obviously not during a battle, but if you passed one before a battle and another battle's coming up and you're on low health, by all means run back to one like I just did, because it's always good to have full health. So you'll never know whether the chest things are good or whether they're bad. In this case, and this is emphasising the thing I just said to you about that little arrow, this is just a room. There's no other things in the room. So I just think what that thing is there. I don't know. It doesn't look very nice. Yeah. Congealed sewage, but it's gone yellow. Hate to think what they were eating. Yeah, so it shows us actually exactly that that's not the way to go, but we want to go that direction. So that means we have to run back to this gate and go through here. And yeah, I would suggest you do chest if you have to fight for a chest. Oh, there was a health fountain here anyway, so I guess it's kind of, it's the early mission, and like I said, I don't remember this mission at all, but it's a long time since I started this game from scratch, but they're making sure you don't die, so that's good. Yeah, you'll have to decide on your health whether you want to take fighting missions to get chests. I would say that early on you want them, but they can be difficult because you're low level. Later on you probably won't need to get the loot, but you'll probably win, so it's one of those balance things. So this guy looks like he's going to be what do you reckon? He's the priest, because he's in a thing that looks kind of like a church, sort of. He's got like benches, pews. Why you would have the Church of the Sewer, I can't imagine. And also you wonder, like, why, what you tell people, like, you know, I'm bringing all these elaborate candle holders and benches down to the sewer. Why? Oh, I'm starting a church in the sewer. Oh, okay. You just wonder how that goes. It's like when you have those villains in like James Bond movies and they have some giant underground base, and you think, what do they tell the contractors and the people that bring the stuff in? Anyway, this is the priest. We can tell his name is Sebastian, and I remember this bit, yeah. I remember him. So we talk to him. Here's a dialogue choice, probably. He's an old priest serving the Church of Saint Darchild, which obviously is not doing very well if they have to operate from a sewer. He's sorting through children's clothing, so that tells us either he's a monster because he's killing the children, or he's a nice guy because he's getting clothes for children. In this game you never know, actually. He could be eating the children. But he's sending it to orphanages across the city. That sounds nice as long as it's true. He's hardly the monster that your contract made him out to be. Well, you don't know, because, you know, he's got children's clothes, and, you know, who knows what that's going to be. And he snarls at you.
The rat who's been crawling our sewers reveals herself.
So you get these little, when you have a long dialogue with somebody, you get these little portraits that talk. They're good. I like that. I think there's lots of ways people do that in video games, where you have a character just staring at the screen talking to nothing, or they don't look very good, and in this they're not trying that, they're just having the boxes that move fine, and the animations are okay for what they're doing, so that's fine. I think these little dialogue things are okay. They're not usually too long, although I will say that sometimes in the game later on, when you've been doing it a while, then you get quite a lot of these. You kind of think, come on, I want to skip through and get to the fight. But anyway, I think that's the same in every game, actually. I'm here to kill you. So this is a dialogue choice. So obviously the source is I'm here to kill you, so we just fight. I'm just a simple sewer cleaner. You can lie, but that doesn't really sound very believable, because hopefully we don't look like a simple sewer cleaner. Let the guards go and I'll spare them. That just sounds like a fight. We fight him, so we'll tell him that there's a price on his head and see what his reaction is.
And whoever it is, they're willing to pay a lot.
See, I've not, probably the first time round I did the same option, because I wouldn't have wanted to fight him without knowing if I needed to, and I don't know what would happen if we picked one of the other options, if we just decided to fight him. I mean, I'm sure there's a fight, but whether it's the same fight and the outcome will be the same with him, I don't know, so.
Of course, and you're here to warn me.
No, to look you in the eye before I fulfill my contract. Know that if it isn't me, it will be another.
Let's hope you fight as honorably.
Okay, so we're going to fight him, because although we were trying to be kind of nice, although, you know, we still don't know, I know, but we still don't know when you're at this stage in the first playthrough, you don't know whether he's good or bad. So just because he says he's good and just because someone says he's bad doesn't really mean anything. So we have to fight him. We still haven't got anything new. We haven't got any new recruits or anything. Luckily, that's why they gave us a chance to do that health fountain nearby, because they've got extra people and we haven't. And like I said, there's not much we can do other than start the fight. I think this game on like the I've never played it on the easy level, but the game on the normal level and those early levels is fine. It's a good balance. Later on it can be quite difficult, so you might have seen those early couple of missions where yeah, that's why I said you can have backline, but we haven't got enough. Okay, you can have backline, but they've got enough guys in there to have backline, but we haven't. So you'll see what that is in a minute. Oh, maybe anyway. Yeah, so it's so okay. So you get these things. They often turn up. I think I said in the first video, you get squares that have bonuses or they don't. And on this now you can see. Okay, I'll show you this in a minute. So on that you've got an orb of regeneration. It will regenerate you a lot. That will be useful if we've been slightly injured, but we're not injured, so that's not going to do a lot, but it would be good later. And sometimes these things that will give you bonuses ongoing from that moment, and sometimes these things that will give you a deficit or a negative bonus. So that Sebastian guy, you can see standing on top of that little wall shelf thing, and what that is that's backline, and what that means is he can't come down from there and start fighting. When his turn comes round at the top, and it will, he will fire magic or heal his people or whatever he wants to do from there, whatever his abilities are. We haven't got, there's our backline, we haven't got anybody. But it means that he can't actually physically come down. So the only people we'll need to kill, this is ongoing in the game, the only people you'll need to kill are the ones on the ground. Anyone on that back line, it's always going to look kind of similar. Sometimes the wall won't be a wall like that, it will be a different thing. But that back line, those ones can never physically come and enter the battle. They can only act from there, and once you kill the guys on the battle floor, you've won. So anyway, as I was saying, you might think from seeing the first few little missions in this, or fights in this game, that it's kind of easy, but it's not. It gets much more difficult. Again, it's not shocking difficulty. I would say it's very fair in how you level up and how the enemies level up. You can buy high level enemies depending on what resources you've got. You can get new companions. They get better resources. They level up. But I would say that it's very balanced. You don't feel, oh my god, they've got enemies or these things that are much higher level than we're fighting, and it doesn't work the other way either. You don't usually have something that, you do go to battles where you've kind of got out level, but that's if you go back to places you've already been. So you don't get into new battles ongoing in the game where you're over leveled for the people either. So it's a good balance. The times you lose are because they've got someone who does something that's hard to combat. Usually it's a person that heals people from distance or something like that, where you're struggling, or because you make a mistake, which is like that in all games. So okay, so we've got two people, they've got more, nothing we've not fought before, but there's just more of them. So I think we'll do that same thing with him, where we'll make him invisible, and we'll put him there. Well, actually, will we? Yeah, we'll put him there.
I'll sneak past them.
So we can use it if we get a bit killed. And although I'd like to do that flanking thing, also I'd like to have that option of that there. So I think we'll just go here. Oh, okay. And we have, there you go, we've got one magic spell. Later on you get to learn spells, you'll find them, you can sometimes buy them, and you can fill up all these boxes, and you'll have so many spells that you'll have to keep changing them. It's not difficult. You can just pick a different spell and put it in your active spells, and then you can use any of this amount of spells during fights. And there's quite a lot. There's passive ones, there's healing ones, there's aggressive ones, there's defensive ones, there's many. So we've got a healing spell, and that's useful because obviously healing is good, and they've got more people, and you've seen already we can get killed quite easily. So what we did there, just so you know, is I went there on purpose to get that regeneration thing, so they can't, basically, because we don't want them regenerating, and they won't have that ability. He might, the guy, Sebastian on the back line, he may be able to heal his, they use some ability, I don't know what it was. There's a lot of different abilities, of different units in this game. And like with most games, you're kind of only need to be aware of them or remember them when they're actually either A, in the game and they're fighting you, and other units you'll get to know because they come up a lot. Some of them come up a lot, like these Imperial soldiers, paladins, they're often in games. Other units, they don't come up often and you'll forget what they do. So we're going to do that thing. He can come here and we can try and kill him. Then it's her, and now she's got that ability to kill more than one thing. We could try to move round, but moving round, they will have cooldown, so this will have a cooldown, I assume. Cooldown is 3 rounds. So if we use it, we lose it for 3 rounds, but we may not be in a situation where we can kill 2 at the same time. We could move around here, try and get an angle where we might kill more, but then once you move, you only get 1 turn, so I think we'll just do that. Oh, that used both our movements anyway, but that's fine. What we want to do now is try to stop them flanking us, so let's go here. This mission needs, or this battle needs more thought than the others, because obviously the other time there was 2 against 2. This time they've got 4 against 2, so okay, that's what I didn't want them to do, but you can't, and they flanked us as well. But you can't govern for everything they can do. And the AI in this game is, you can see they've just been quite clever. They flanked us, and they got the regeneration. So they're quite, the AI is not stupid in this game at all.
You mess with me.
Oh, okay. So that thing there that happened, and I didn't get a turn with her. What that is, it's taunted, and what that means, if the enemies do that to you, it means you act, but you don't decide. You just act because you're taunted, so you feel obligated to.
Hurry! Something's wrong.
Yeah, we're losing.
Yeah, that's.
Help me!
Impossible! Stand back, fools! All of you, back!
Okay, so yeah, the taunted thing, as I said, it means that if you I'll read this in a minute. It means that if you get taunted by an enemy, basically it's taunting you to act. I think it happens in quite often in different games, especially turn-based games, and it means you act without having the choice yourself. So that happens quite often actually, and it can be quite annoying, especially later when you've kind of set up a move and someone gets taunted, and then you don't have their option to either move if you're setting up an attack, or B, if they're like quite wounded and you want them to run away or use a healing and they can't because they're taunted. So that can be quite a thing. It can also be a thing against them, of course. So our companion got killed, and obviously that was part of the, like I said, I don't remember all of this very well, this bit. So that's kind of put us into a end of mission, and we're leaving apparently through a portal. So again, I don't remember from this game, because I've only played the beginning once, but I'm guessing that's what it was meant to do. I'm guessing that whatever you do in that's what happens.
Nor mortal eyes seen this ancient sight.
So we've gone through a portal and we've come to, there you can see, this very ornate
Longing to be rediscovered.
castle, city. I'm not sure. I'd say it's a castle because there's not really other people there other than soldier things. So I think it's a castle. Well, I think it's actually described as a city, but. So yeah, I don't know, and I really don't know whether, because I've only played, this is the second time I've done the beginning playthrough part from the beginning. I've never done it since I first started the game, because I've been just playing an ongoing game forever and ever. So I don't know whether if you make different dialogue choices, or whether it's possible to win that opening fight, whether different things happen. I know from remembering that, I know that I came to this city, or this castle, but I can't remember whether I went through the same path, and I don't know whether if you took different options, or whether you won that battle, whether it would happen in a different way or a different time. I don't know. So that's for you to find out if you play. So this is called Ilion, the Forgotten City, City of Sacred Angels. It all sounds very high fantasy. And yeah, we can read this stuff, but we've never been able to read it before, so. Yeah, I think in all fantasy games, ancient things are either abandoned dwarven or abandoned elf, aren't they? Elven, dwarven. Yeah, it's ours now.
Been a dwarf alive since the 9th epoch. If it was theirs, it's ours now. But look at the stone. Dwarves didn't build like this.
Yeah, it's not dwarven, and even if it is, they're gone, and they didn't want it, so.
And these glyphs match the glyphs on my armor.
You're worried about your belt, Abby? You just ripped a hole in space. We're lost in some forgotten city. I'm sorry. I just haven't seen you do that since we were kids.
So, there's quite a lot in that. So, basically, we've gone through a portal to a city that we've never seen. We did that to escape from that Sebastian guy. We don't know how we did it. We've come to this city, and we've already found out two things. One is that these markings on the things we just normally wear that kind of match with this city. So, we've got a connection there. And also, our friend, who we've known for a long time, has said that we used to do magic kind of things with portals when we were a lot younger. So it's an ability we've already had. So we did that. It didn't happen to us.
This time was different. Boy, I can't shake the feeling. It was fate. Let's look around, but be on your guard.
So we're going to look around
Just because this place looks abandoned doesn't mean it is.
the city. So it's got there's lots of bits and pieces. It must have been great. There's lots of, you can imagine, it's like all these cities you go to, like Dragon Age Inquisition, you get to the new city and it's damaged and you've got to repair bits. And so this is Ilion, our home. Like I said, it says city, but I should say it was a castle, but whatever. And this is where our base is. This is where we come to upgrade. This is where we come to recruit different people. This is where our companions go, where you can upgrade them, because you can upgrade quite a lot of companions as well. These buildings from different factions where we can recruit people from our army. It says that, and so it's where we come often. Sometimes you'll need to come back here quite often, because this is, apart from main characters that you recruit, or the middle range characters that are named but they're not mission specific, so they can die. Apart from those, all the nondescript soldier, mercenary characters, whether they're warlocks or undead or whatever, they all can only be recruited from here. So you have to come back here. Sometimes you have to come back here, after a mission, because you've got not enough troops, army to continue. So you've got all these things. So basically these 4 different factions: Stone Ring, Graveyard, Temple, and the other one is there, Heart. And each one of these, I'll show you, you can recruit units, and you can see there. There's a lot of units we can't recruit because they're higher tier and we're not high enough to recruit them. We can recruit a tier 1 possessed person. Each one has different abilities. You can check on their abilities to see what they do. And, you know, that's got a wild swing, and obviously they're not as high ranking as the ones we can't recruit yet, but you know, and it will tell you what the back line is. So for example, as I've been mentioning that back line quite often, if you put this one on the back line, they'll grant physical might to other people. Some have passive abilities, some of them fire arrows at people. You can train units from that faction there. This faction, again, you can recruit a soldier. This is the kind of army imperial faction, and we've already fought a paladin and a soldier. Soldier's what it is. You can recruit that. We can recruit that now, and that's why money's useful. Stone ring. You get a shadow caster. They're quite useful. They can heal people. I'll just show you what they're. So they have a shadow bolt, which is useful early, but it doesn't do much damage later. But they also have this resilience, which is a kind of a heal thing, and that can be very useful because it's an extra person that can heal, and they can do that as well as us, and they do shadow armor from the back line. And the other one is graveyard, and we can recruit a zombie. Yay! And there you go. That looks. I like the animation for this. They look suitably. They're suitably scary. They're well done, but they're kind of a mix between fantasy and kind of slightly tongue-in-cheek and a bit over the top. And I think that works really well. Like I said, this game and what it's trying to do. I know the term Souls-like. Not that it's a genre of game I play often, but these aren't trying to be horribly scary, terrifying demons and monsters. They're kind of high fantasy, but like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of monsters, where it's fun and they're scary but not terrifying, and they're not. They look like they're meant to be, like everything in this game. So yeah, it's got a good balance. I mean, this game's got a really good balance actually of fantasy and darkness and humour, and it's very good like that. So yeah, we can belt rot if we're a zombie. That's nice. We can obviously attack people with our claws, and we can do a rotting stench. Well, that sounds lovely. We've just been in the sewer. So yeah, as you can see, we can recruit the base level of all of these. There's also empty slots where you can build buildings that you can get, you know, depending on what you do in quest, it will give you the option to build on one of them, which is I think it's called a market. Yeah, I'm sure it's a market. It will give you the option to recruit mercenaries, and sometimes the mercenaries are different ranks. Sometimes they're higher ranks, and you can get in your own little recruitment places, but we haven't got the option to do that yet. So that's Ilian. And the next thing we need to do is go and meet our friend Ori, but I think we'll end this video now before we do that and move on. Like I said, there's quite a lot in this game where you can only explain it when you do it, and when you get to a point where it's happening. So for example, now we've got the ability to have more units. I can show you how that works next time. Now I've got the ability to have someone on the back line because we can get more units. I can show you how that works. So there's quite a lot of things, and we haven't got any other main characters yet. So there's quite a lot of things that you just simply can't show without playing into it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with Disciples Liberation, the next mission next time. So take care. Until then, bye for now.